Oh, happy Monday! Boy, do I have a story for you. I have a story for you, and today we're going to talk about sales and whether it is yucky and icky and it doesn't feel right, or whether it's something that can be natural and easy and just flow nicely for you. So if you're watching along, as always, say hi in the comments, let me know you're watching. And let me know if you're watching the replay as well, and we'll play along in the comments. So I'd love to hear from you there. Today we're going to talk about sales. Let me know if you've ever felt like sales are difficult because of the way that it feels. So you just feel like you're nervous or uncomfortable, or like you've got to be pushy to get the sale. You feel like you're putting pressure on the person to get them to buy, especially if you're selling a larger program, like a couple of grand or more, which you should be. Hopefully you are. And if you're not, send me a message and we'll get that sorted. But lots of people feel icky about sales. Even when you hear the word sales, you might get a bit of a feeling, even if it's in the back of your mind, where it sort of makes you recoil, right? Where you sort of feel an aversion to sales, marketing, even. There's a lot of stigma around it, it's got a bad rap. A lot of people have given it a bad rap because they have done the sleazy marketing tactics or the pushy sales, which understandably we don't want to do. But a lot of the time, we feel this ingrained inside feeling about sales. No matter how it's being taught, we just are feeling, I can't do that. I'm too nervous. I'm not confident, or something about it. It's just harder. As soon as I get to that part, I freeze up, or I just kind of leave it to the client and let them think about it. And a lot of the way we feel about it comes from our association with it that we've learned through what we have heard about it or what we've experienced firsthand. So you might have had one of those typical pushy salesmen, like someone selling you a car or a house or a toaster. It could be anything, but that typical salesperson stigma, stereotype, that's the word, I guess. But sales have changed a lot over the years from that pushy approach. And although there are still people out there that do this, the good news is it has changed. There are other ways, and you don't have to be pushy. You don't have to force yourself to say a certain script, and you don't have to apply any pressure to get the sale. Does that sound good? Well, how do we do it? First, let me tell you before I forget about Keith. Keith sent me an email over the weekend saying that he bought my program creation kit for $37, and he used the contents inside that and sold his first ever program for $2,000 the other day. And I was like, that's so great. And emailed him back, and he actually just replied to me right before I came on this live, and he said, actually, I sold 3 more over the weekend, so I've actually made $8,000 now from the $37 kit. And I was like, oh my goodness, Keith, well done. That's amazing. If you want to grab the same kit for $37 before I change my mind at the insane value, I've just put the link in the comments, and you can do the same thing. And in there are some program examples of a few different type of set programs that you can either copy, tweak to suit yourself. You can do it the same, you can do it different. There's a recall one, a puppy one, and one for reactive dogs, which I think is the first one that Keith sold. There's also a swipe file for program descriptions. Whoop, going the wrong way because it's mirrored here. And a swipe file for possible inclusions. And related to what we're talking about now, there is some sales scripts. But what I want to say about the sales scripts, because we've just been talking about how you don't have to follow a script and you don't have to be pushy, is that it's just a guide. So I wouldn't try to read something out to people to sell to them. I wouldn't try and memorize lines that don't feel like the way that you would talk. I would just sit down and have a read of these examples and picture yourself in these situations and how you would just put it into your own words that feel good for you, and also looking at the basic concepts and principles of the types of things that are said in there. You could say them word for word if you wanted to, as long as you make it sound natural. But sales is all about conversations. So we want to shift the way that we think about what sales is. And some people say to me, I don't do sales. I don't do it at all. I don't do any sort of sales stuff, because they've shifted their view of what sales is to the point that they don't think it's sales anymore, or they've shifted it to what it is to them and turned it into something completely different. But they still think that the original version of sales is the bad kind. But if you're offering something to someone and someone is buying it from you, that's sales. You're just doing it in the way that feels comfortable and nicer to you, which is great. So selling is all about conversation. Conversations that are easygoing and genuine. Think of it as just offering your solution to the client, and you're just explaining what you have to offer. So how would you tell a friend about what you offer if you were sitting down for coffee and they just asked, so what is it exactly that you do? Or what is it exactly that you would include in, they probably wouldn't quite say it like that, but what do you do? What do you do for people? What sort of dog training do you do? And you might explain it to them, and it's going to be along the lines of the type of dog training that you offer, similar to how you would explain a program and what it's going to achieve for someone. You might give them an example of someone that you've helped with one of your programs. So how would you tell a friend? Or what if you just met someone in a social situation? You know how it is. If you meet someone socially and they find out you're a dog trainer, they always have questions, or they always find it really interesting or different. And you would just explain to them what you do, because a lot of people don't realize what dog trainers do, apart from thinking of the traditional dog training classes. They might not realize what it's like if you do private lessons or board and train, or maybe your group classes are completely different to what the traditional used to be. So you could tell them about that and really educate them about what it's like. And this would be really similar to just sitting down and telling someone what you offer, except in their case, it's going to be specific to solving their problem that they've come to you for. So sales really doesn't have to be any more high pressure than that. And if you're getting to the part where it's time to ask for the payment, and that's the bit that's freezing you up, then maybe you just have to do some work around your money mindset of not seeing money as an evil, icky thing. It's just a transaction. They expect to pay you, and that's getting to a whole other topic. But just say it like pass the salt. You've got to be confident with it. So this is what I can offer. This is how much it is. Do you want to go ahead with that? Cool. How would you like to pay? These are my options. It's just all part of the conversation. And you really can practice in front of a mirror or practice with a friend and role play. In the masterclass, we get on live calls and we role play. And I really try and just encourage people to think of it as like you're talking to a friend and explaining what you're offering to a friend. People do get nervous, which is totally natural and fine, but the more you do it, the easier it's going to get, just like anything that you need to practice. When you're talking to your client, not just when you're making your offer, but throughout all of the interactions that you have with them, it's all conversations and demos, and this all should be contributing to creating trust and showing them that you're the right person to guide them through the challenge that they are facing, and that they can trust you, and also getting to know each other, making sure you're the right fit for each other, not just that you're the right option for them, but that they are the right type of client for you, because it's important that both people are happy to work together. And you're showing them that you can be that guide, that you click, you get along well together, you're going to have fun together in this training, and of course that you are knowledgeable and experienced and you can get them the result. So your discussions just talking can show your knowledge, your demos can show your experience and the way that you apply that knowledge in their situation and to their dog, and that it works. And all of this is sales. All of this is rolling into the big picture at the end where you ask them for money to train with you, depending on how you do that initial interaction. All of this might be over the phone or over Messenger or email where you have a chat, and what they see on your social media pages or your websites, if it's videos and things like that, all of that is contributing to the sale at the end. And if that part is feeling natural, Nicole says to clarify, we role play sales. Yeah, not other role play. We role play sales. But if all of your demos and explaining stuff is feeling natural and good, there's no reason why the selling part has to feel any different. Now, if you want to get results like Keith that we mentioned earlier, who just made $8,000 from getting the new program creation kit, then go to the link in the comments. Envy! Thanks, Envy. Go to the link in the comments and grab that kit. You've got nothing to lose. It's a tiny investment for massive results. If you are already in the masterclass too, you don't need to purchase that because I've added that in as another bonus for you guys in there. And if you want to go all out and get into the masterclass and really take your business to 6 figures and beyond, then send me a message and we can talk about that too. Alrighty, so that's what I want to say today. And I will see you guys in the next video. As always, if you have any questions or any topics that you'd like me to talk about, you can comment below or you can send me a message and put in a request and I'll add it to my list. Otherwise, I'll see you next time and I hope you have a great Monday and a great week. Bye.